philosophy course, which is great. I did a part-time course because I'm a bit lazy as well. So I go 1 day a week, and I spend the rest of the week just thinking about it. And I do all difficult questions when you first start, really difficult stuff like meaning of life, why are we here? That was a good question, why are we here? Because I could have been sat home wanking off to Hollyoaks or something. I persevered, I carried on through the course, and it starts getting interesting. After you get the difficult stuff out of the way, you get to do like the little interesting little philosophical quandaries that go on your head. Like if you put a goldfish in a bath, will it go wrinkly? And they'll try that out because the goldfish, they just die in your pocket on the way home. It's not very good. So anyone here attaining helium? And the voice sounds really high pitched. You reckon it's possible to take so much helium that only dogs can hear you? That'd be great, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to tell anybody about it though, would you? You'd just be there. It'd be great, yeah. A friend of mine, they've had a sex change operation, and I don't know if you know, is that when a man becomes a woman, basically what they do is they take the genitals and they just turn them inside out. And I figure that's a little bit painful, but like each and every one to their own. But what if my mate's in a bar somewhere, minding his stroke, her own business, and somebody puts a bit of Viagra into their drink? That's got to hurt, hasn't it? I don't know, talking internal injuries and stuff like that. It doesn't really like. That's where my philosophy took me, sort of like subjects turned dark really far too quickly. I was in a field and it was a lovely sunny day. It was kind of like blue clouds and white sky. Although that's probably more to do with the acid that I'd taken more than anything else. In the middle of this field, there's this little solitary daisy, and it's just there, like blowing about in the wind. And I was looking at it and thinking, oh, that's quite nice nature, like that, And about 5 minutes later, this big fat hairy bumblebee comes along. It lands on top of the flower, takes a little bit of pollen, and then it flies away. And I thought, oh, isn't that nice, like that. About 5 minutes later, another bumblebee comes around, does the same thing. I thought, oh, again, isn't that nice? And by about the third time, I'm just looking at the flower and I'm thinking, well, a bit less lag, really, isn't it? Having pretty petals in the air like that, all the fancy scent, it's terrible. I don't know what to do. So stopped doing the philosophy. But the reason why I took up philosophy is that I've got a very, very overactive mind. And I'll give you an example of I have stressful days because of my mind. It gives me a lot of problems. For instance, if I get up in the morning, I make a cup of tea. I've got a bowl with my tea bags, and I've got this sugar pot with a little teaspoon in it. And when I was making a cup of tea the other day, and I made a mistake of stirring my cup of tea with the spoon that I keep in the sugar bowl. And I don't know what to do. You can't put the spoon straight back in the sugar bowl because then you get brown sugar. And as you can see, I'm not really posh enough for that kind of stuff. So I don't know what do I wash that spoon up and do I put that spoon back in the sugar bowl? Or do I get a new spoon out from the cutlery drawer and put that in the sugar bowl and put the other one back in the cutlery drawer? You're just feeling a bit weird now. Because in my head, right, in the spoon world, sugar duty might be a really fucking good job. And like me taking the teaspoon out of there, putting it back in the cutlery drawer, all the other big teaspoons you don't get to do sugar duty, they might get a little bit pissed off, And you're there upstairs trying to get to sleep at night, and all you can hear is this jangling coming down from the kitchen. And then you go down to the kitchen, you open the drawer in the morning, it looks like Uri Geller's been in there. Everything's just like all bent up and everything. And something's been up for a while because the forks, they always move a couple of trays down towards the teaspoons. Because the forks, they must get really pissed off because they got the prongs and they can't hold the sugar, can they? And I must just like do them in. This thing affected me so much. What I did is I spent the whole morning doing a strict rota system for my teaspoons, and I labelled them sort of like all from 1 to 3 because I've only got 3 teaspoons, and that makes it even worse because like there's always 2 in the cutlery drawer that can gang up on the other one. It's not fair. You're just leaving me crazy. You can't tell me you don't talk to inanimate objects. No? None of you sort of like slam a car door and go, oh, sorry. You never do that. You never shout at your computer or do anything like that. Because I do all the time. It's like if I want to plug my iPod into my stereo, you can get all those little adapters. I like to play God and start turning all the plugs from male to female and just like, it's great. It's just like my little thing that I like to do, my little bit of power. Because like in the morning if I want something to eat and I want a couple of slices of toast, and I go and put them in a toaster, and then halfway through it I realise actually I only want 1 slice. I've got to put that other slice of bread back in the fridge. And what if he's afraid of the dark? It's just cruel, isn't it? It's cruel.